So Latrice is one of the social workers at our clinic who works with our HD patients and families, and she is going to talk to us about caregiver support in Huntington. So thank you, Latrice.
Thank you. I am going to talk about caregiver support, and as you can see, Caregiver Support 101 is the title of my presentation. So, caregiving. Um, I know that becoming a caregiver is a huge shift. This could be because the person that you once relied on now relies on you. At times, you may find yourself stepping out of your comfort zone and wondering if your needs even matter anymore. Many caregivers have what we call caregiver guilt, and that guilt can be brought on by a number of things. But once the caregiver acknowledges that they have that guilt, they find it hard to cope with these new responsibilities. They often take on the mentality that their wants and their needs no longer matter. It's all about the person living with HD, which in return causes caregivers to withdraw from life and they lose a sense of purpose. So, you as a caregiver may say, I've become stuck. What do I do? Caregivers, like the person with HD, have many ups and downs, and caregiving may seem like too much to handle at times. When this happens, it's usually a sign that the responsibilities are a bit overwhelming and you've become lost and have no idea what to do. So you may feel a range of emotions from hopelessness to helplessness and sometimes nothing at all. So the single most thing that you can do is to take care of yourself. Walk away, breathe, and regroup. So when a change happens, it brings forth, many emotions, but I'm here to tell you that those emotions are normal, and having such emotions, it doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you human. You may have feelings of guilt, as previously mentioned, grief, and loneliness. So a social network online, um, you will benefit from that. But whatever you do, fight the urge to isolate yourself from others. You know, yes, I'm sure that there are certain things about caregiving that might make you feel as if you're going to go insane. Again, this is normal. Caregiving can be a difficult task, but I can assure you that yes, you can manage your stress. So you have to prioritize your tasks by making a list. It's also a good idea to make a list of triggers in your persons with HD, and then try to work to avoid them. Ask for help. I know that's difficult, but it's important. Just keep in the back of your mind to ask for help and learn about caregiving resources. So practice makes perfect. I know you hear it all the time. It's nothing new. So make your own health a priority. Do something nice for yourself at least once a day. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself permission to feel those emotions. Don't isolate yourself. Stay in contact with your friends and your family and make all of your own doctor's appointments. It's good to still be active and, again, remember to breathe and don't forget about yourself. I always reiterate this with caregivers because they tend to forget about themselves. It's all about the person, they're caring for, but you have to take care of yourself. Um, if something happens to you, what happens to the person that you're caring for? So we need you to take care of yourself. We need you to be healthy so that you can continue providing that care. And remember, you're not alone. Um, so the single most thing that I want you to know again is that you're not alone. In today's society, there's an overwhelming amount of awareness that caregivers need support. We know this. So today, with social media and the internet, there's more and more options for connecting to others who understand your struggles and can help you discover your personal resiliency. There's so many Facebook groups about caregiving. There's so many Facebook groups about, HD. The help is out there. When I say that you're not alone, you're really not alone. You have a care team around you. Of course, you and the person you're caring for, they're in the center. And then you have everyone around them. You have the social workers, you have the doctors, you have, OT and PT. You have a team around you. Utilize that team. So you're not alone. And we will never make you feel as if you're alone. So when we talk about, social services, we've heard it, you may have heard it before. And if not all heroes wear capes, some become social workers. And that's my nice little face there. So you may ask, like, why a social worker? What can a social worker do? I get that all the time. Like, what are you here for? Why do I need you? As a social worker, we advocate, we support you, and we assist you. Again, social workers are a part of your persons with HD care team. We're professionals. And again, we advocate for you, we support you, and we assist you. Sometimes it's hard navigating through the whole medical system. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what resources you need and how to get those resources. That's what we're here for. If you ask any social worker why they became a social worker, they will tell you, because I love people and I love helping people. And it's true, we love helping people. So to locate a social worker in your area, of course, HDSA chapters and affiliates, as well as HDSA Center of Excellence, they hire social workers to support families affected by HD. So if you go on their website and you find the locator button, you can find a social worker in your network or in your area closest to you. So next, I'll talk about long-term care planning. Sometimes this is a subject that, we don't always want to talk about, but it's so very important to talk about. And you may hear the word advanced directives. Many have never heard of this and have no idea, what it is. You may also hear the term the 5 wishes. And advanced directives allows the person with HD to share their wishes about their future while they still have the capacity to do so. So with the advanced directives, there's many parts to it, but it includes a durable power of attorney. And this is, where the person with HD, they assign someone that they trust to handle their financial matters. And now the durable power of attorneys, they also include the healthcare surrogate. And this is a person that will make medical decisions on behalf of the persons with HD. And then there's also the living will. I think that this is really, really important. And the living will is a written statement by the persons with HD detailing their desires regarding their medical treatment in the event in which they are no longer able to express informed consent. I think this is so important because, only you know what you want. And if you don't have a living will and that time comes where you can't make informed consent, then your loved ones are left trying to figure out what you wanted. So it's best to have it written down so, your loved ones know what to tell your care team. Again, I know that this conversation may be extremely difficult to have. However, this is a conversation that everyone should have, no matter the level of their health. We all need to have this conversation. We all need to have our advanced directives written out. So this is our hot topic, and this is one of the hottest topics that come to me personally when working with caregivers and their person with HD. So, we're all excited when we received our driver's license. It was like we're ready to hit the open road and in a sense of freedom, adulthood, and independence. So the thought of having to give that up can be a struggle. And in return, it causes conflict within the family and arguments. So we know that over time, movement, cognitive, and behavioral changes HD has on a person's life and the ability to safely operate a car. So the movement will affect the muscle control and in return cause accident. The cognitive disorder will cause a slow reaction time and affect the ability to correctly perform actions needed. And the behavioral can trigger a road rage scenario. So caregivers, it's important to notice changes in your person with HD's driving ability. Take notes on things you see and experience and start having those conversations early. Um, this is a hard conversation. Again, another hard conversation to have. Um, so when having the conversation about your person's HD driving ability, it's best not to do it alone. It's best to have family present and come as a united front. Prior to having the conversation, prepare yourself for the concerns that your loved one may have. How will I get to work, or how will I get all my doctor's appointments? How will I go to the store? So be prepared for those questions and have those answers ready. And in the event that you need help with transportation, please reach out to your social worker. That's what we're here for. We have those resources for you. So as a caregiver, yes, you provide care to your loved one, but it's also important that you advocate for them as well. You are their biggest advocate. So it's very important to be present and engaged in your persons with HD care team. Even if they're unable to attend all of their appointments, take notes of changes in between appointments. Even if you're not sure if something is associated with HD or it's normal, still write it down. Write down all of your questions, all of your concerns. There's no stupid question. There's no stupid concern. We don't believe in that. So just have it written down because it's important, because you don't know. So preparing so that you're prepared for the outpatient visits. And in the event that your persons with HD has to go to the hospital, it's important to know what to expect and how to prepare. I always say have their advance directives in hand. Even if you feel like the hospital already has a copy, it's still good to have your own copy. You want to have a list of medications and their care team contact information. If you have to call the paramedics, be prepared to explain to them some things about HD. Since HD is so rare, not many emergency care workers have much experience taking care of HD patients. So it's important for you to have, information written down so you can explain to them. So know when to ask for help. Know your limitations. Of course, we became a caregiver and we feel like no one can care for my loved one better than I can, but we all have limitations. You can't do it alone. Talk to your social worker, about your concerns. I have caregivers that sometimes call me just to vent. That's what I'm here for. Sometimes caregivers, they just want someone to talk to. They don't want you to tell them everything's going to be okay. They don't want, your advice. They just want, someone to talk to. So I'm here to, for you to vent. If you're not sure, where to go for resources, that's why I'm here. If you need help navigating the system of, I don't know, assisted living facilities or in-home assistant agencies, and you're like, there's so many, I don't know which one to choose. I don't know which one is a good one. Contact your social worker. I know for myself, we have a research circle or, a database with all this good information on it. And it's good to build an army. I always say, yes, you can hire an in-home assistance agency to help, but it's good to also have an army to help you when, you're no longer able to care for your person with HD. Again, we think that we can do it until the end or until whenever, but it's good to, know that I can no longer do this. I need help. Because the last thing you want to do is burn yourself out again. And then if something happens to you, what's going to happen to, your loved one. So I always tell individuals, caregivers, if hiring an in-home agency will build strain on you financially, you may have a friend who niece is a CNA and could use the extra hours, or there's someone that you go to church with, use that support system. We don't know that you need help unless you tell us you need help. Come with your questions, come with your concerns. That's what we're here for. So these are some important numbers to have. This is the suicide prevention hotline, the HDSA helpline. This is Florida's central abuse reporting line. So your state should have their own number, and you can also report online. And it's good to also have your county's police non-emergency line. That's like one of the most important numbers that you can have, as well as knowing the mental health crisis line. That's also a very, very important number to have. So if you or your loved one, or someone who would like to make an appointment, here's our direct phone number to request an appointment. We are open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And here is my contact information with my direct line. So if you have any questions, even after this presentation, if you think, hey, I forgot about this, and you want to ask it, feel free to reach out to me. If I don't have the answer, I'm a part of a great network of social workers within the HDSA, and I will get the answer for you. And any questions? And thank you, guys.
That was great. All right. Well, listen, hopefully you have some more questions for Latrice. She's one of our superstar social workers. And I have to say that HD is such a family disease, it affects so many people that our social workers, there's so many things that go on this disease. Our social workers are really the superstars in our clinic, helping out our patients with all the different things that, and family members and caregivers with all the different things that go on in the disease. So if you aren't connected with one, let us know and we will connect you. They will be a key team player